Yes, 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 yes. Blessings, my family. Welcome back to another episode of the All Over It podcast. Today, on November the 3rd, new month. Yeah. We have a good one in store as usual. Yeah, today I'm talking about a specific topic like AI or financial literacy, but a great topic nonetheless, an important one at that. So, yeah, as you know, every week we keep growing, more love, more subscribers, more consistency. And that's exactly what today's episode is all about, consistency, the key. The truth is, nothing great happens overnight, whether it's your goals, your language learning, your business, your mindset, whatever it is, consistency is the real key. It's what separates dreamers from doers. So I going to ask from early. Anybody who there in the chat, if you know that staying consistent has been a difference maker for you, drop a key, drop a key word in the chat. But yeah, as per usual, thank you. Thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. It's much appreciated. And yeah, we're growing. Without you, we wouldn't be growing. So I thank you. And yeah, as per usual, gotta let you know if you haven't yet, like, share, subscribe, comment, all of that good stuff, all of that YouTube stuff. We are on a mission to get the YouTube channel to 1,000 subscribers. Yeah. So don't know. Yeah, daylight savings time change now that it's November. Makes sense. Well, I understand you, bro, because even for me, my time changed as well. So I had to readjust my schedule being as I'm in Colombia. Yeah. But yeah, you won't miss nothing. You won't miss nothing yet. I just going through the announcements, welcoming announcements, thanking everybody for joining. And before I dive into the content of today, which is the consistency at that point and everything, but before I get into that, I want to share a little more of my experience here in Colombia with you guys. So last week I talked about things like the different fruits and so on that I've been enjoying here, which I actually got some more recently. But yeah, today I want to show you some of the animals. I say I plan to go to the zoo, but I've been so happy to have gotten the ability, the opportunity to see most of these things right in the back of the hotel, like we see in the wild, in nature, not in the zoo. So this one is a beautiful one. I tried to take a video of it, but the video didn't come out too good. Orange fronted yellow finch. Never see this bird before in St. Martin. We have yellow breasts, which smile just like that. And they have a few other varieties, but I never seen this one. We also have this, the yellow-headed caracara. I see that. I actually tried to take a video of it as well, but yeah, these things will be at a distance. If your phone can't zoom far enough, then yeah. Which the caracara is actually a family of the falcons. Caracara and falcons are related, as all caracaras belong to the Falconidae family, which also includes true falcons. Key difference is the hunting style. I'm gonna get into all of that. But yeah, just so you know. I also saw this, a woodpecker. I saw one like this. Also trying to take a video, but yeah, quality I don't really like too much. But yeah, it was cool seeing these things. So I actually thought I saw this capybara, but come to find out it's actually not. It's this, which is a guatin. So agouti in English. But here they call it guatin, which is Guatin. Yeah, 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 yeah. So literally, I've been seeing this like running around right in the back. I'd say in my backyard. Yeah. So guatin versus capybara. A guatin, also called a agouti, is a much smaller, solitary, and terrestrial rodent compared to the much larger, highly social, and semi-aquatic capybara. Just saying, these guatin semi-aquatic as well. They don't be swimming across the river stream thing there. Anyways, yeah, for what I'd say here, the main difference is the size. So these small, these the guatin, and these the capybara. So big, small. Anyways, I actually see some possums, and most people in the US probably familiar with these, but in St. Martin we don't have them. And yeah, literally, I see one. I even got a video of one running across a telephone pole, like the telephone line. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Big up yourself one time, mate. Bless up. You don't know. And yeah, I see a possum. One of my friends tell me they see one of these armadillo. I want to see that so bad, so bad. Yeah, I see people eating possum, especially like in certain places in the US. But yeah, 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 yeah. All kind of thing I seen, all kind of thing I seen, all kind of things I seen. Charlie, this is press. I've been liking this. I love birds. So anyways, just wanted to share a little bit of my experience here. Like I said last week, I share about some of the fruits and thing I've been purchasing. But now, yeah, today I decided, yeah, let me show some of the different animals that I've been seeing. Yeah, 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 yeah. But yeah, like we say, drop a key in the chat. If you're on a phone, drop a key in the chat. If you're not on a phone or not on something that you could put an emoji, just put KEY. Yeah. Because what? We talking about consistency today. Consistency is the key. Like I say, nothing great happens overnight. No matter what your goal is, no matter what it is, you have to stay consistent. Consistency is the real flex. Telling you. So on that note, I'll start by getting into what is consistency. So let me bring up my little PowerPoint slide. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Gotta stay locked in. Once you stay consistent, start seeing the steps building. Then you reach to the top, just like a house. You start from a foundation, till you got a full house with your lock and key in your door. Yeah, 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 yeah. But like it said, nothing great happens overnight. Whatever your goal is, consistency is the real key. Whatever it is, you have to stay consistent. Consistency is simply just showing up again and again, even when you don't feel like it, even when the results aren't instant. It's the discipline that builds momentum. It's the habit that builds mastery. And when you stay consistent, life rewards you. So let me show a dictionary definition of consistency. What is consistency? So this I don't like. I don't like when they give you the definition with the word in it. So consistency, consistent behavior or treatment. That's not that's not it. But anyways, we get a nice good one over here. Don't worry. Yeah, yeah, it's got us covered now. You know. So yeah, as it says, consistency refers to the quality of being steady, reliable, and unchanging over time. It involves maintaining the same level of effort, behavior, or outcome in different situations, ensuring predictability and dependability. In various contexts, consistency can apply to one, your personal habits or behavior, consistently following a routine like exercising regularly, yeah, or keeping up with work tasks that's help you grow, that's help you build momentum, you know, quality or performance. Delivering the same high standard in products, services, or results allows you to stay consistent and allows you to stand apart. You know, that there is competitive because a lot of people don't stay consistent. Decision making, decision making or actions. Acting in a way that aligns with your values, principles, or established patterns, even in a changing circumstances. Consistency is crucial for achieving long term success because it builds trust, reinforces learning, and helps develop mastery over time. It's often tied to incremental progress that compounds much like a snowball effect, which I'm going to talk about a little bit later. So, yeah, basically, what it's just saying is keep at it. Keep at it. Whatever it is you're doing, keep showing up day in, day out. So, if it's you want to exercise so you could get in better shape, you have to stay consistent. If you want to start a business, you have to stay consistent. Whatever it is you want to do, consistency is the key. So I got a question for everybody watching. I would like you to put in a chat what's one thing that you stayed consistent with this year no matter what. Leave a little comment in the chat. Let me know. Because what? We ain't say we locked in, so we ain't playing no games. But anyways, like I just had to share this definition with you. And on that note, I have to say, like I just showed what is consistency. I like to use, see, reading and working out, that's a good thing to stay consistent at. And yeah, I know you use workout man. But yeah, reading for sure is a good skill to build as well. And yeah, being consistent at it is a plus. I would like to give you two analogies, which I like to use these two analogies. I don't know, maybe these the most closest things I see or the easiest things I could connect to. You look like you're in now. Yes. Shout out to the Oracle lessons. Yeah, so anybody who know me know I like to talk about trees and nature, and I just use those as analogies to compare a lot of different things. Because if you observe how nature does move or how things go in nature, it educates you. Let me just say like that. So similar to a tree, everything starts just like a seed, a small little seed. And imagine that small little seed. turns into a humongous plant, way bigger than any of us, come from a small little nothing. We could have mashed. Everything starts like a seed. You plant it, you water it, and you protect it. You have to protect it and maintain it. Without staying consistent with maintaining it and keeping it flourishing, it's gonna die, you know? So yeah, just like a seed, it starts from a seed and it grows and grows. And when it just starts, we look at it like, man, how long this gonna take? But nothing seems to happen at first. But on the ground, roots are forming and it's growing gravitopically. And then one day, that small seed becomes a tall tree, providing shade, providing fruits and shelter. That's how consistency works. You may not see the growth day by day, but it's happening. So just remember that with whatever you on a mission to do, remember maybe you might not always see the growth, especially in the beginning. But once you stay consistent day by day, things are happening and eventually you're gonna notice. You know, it's the same with building a building, a structure. I like to also use that as an example because I don't know if people feel like when they see their house or they see these high rises, if they feel like people just come and drop the whole building down on the ground and everything is fine and dandy. Because it's far from that. Every building you're in right now, every single one, every building you go into, it starts from the foundation, from the ground up. You start from an empty lot, just land, maybe some bush. You clear it, you pour out your foundation, then slowly you start building out. You build your walls, raise your walls, and then once your structure is up, you go to work on the inside. That's how every dream is built. One block, one day at a time. Literally. Literally one block at a time. Even these big humongous houses, one block at a time. All the same. We still need the same steel, the same cement, the same blocks. Yeah. And imagine, like I said, once the structure is up, you go to work on the inside. Cause that's how it is. Anybody here who is a, let me say, real estate property manager or anything along those lines, you'll know and agree that the first thing you have to do is build a shed. You gotta start from the ground and build it up. You can't build the inside before you build the outside. So it's literally all the same because it's that literally how every dream is built. You have an idea and you say to yourself, you know what? Okay, I want to do this. How am I going to do it? You build a structure. You put together a plan, an outline. That's your structure. You outline how you plan to approach this. That's your structure. That's your outside. And then you start going to work on the fine details, the inside. It's all the same. Yeah. So I got another question. I know I can ask a lot of questions today. Today I got a lot of questions because I want to hear from you. I want to engage with you, my people. Love alone. But I'm curious to know what's something in your life that started small but grew big because you stayed consistent, because you stayed with it. So what's one thing in your life that you saw that growth from, you know? Now I want to move on, like I mentioned, tree growing from a seed. Perfect example of consistency, but also building from the ground up. Because for these sky rises and these high rises and skyscrapers to get 40 something floors and 20 something floors, they had to start from one ground, from zero. Yeah. That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a great one. My bike, let me say my identity. Wow, that's a deep one, bro. Yeah, straight up. That's deep. And I guess I could say the same, your reach and your not knowledge base, but like to show people what you're good at, your purpose, finding your purpose. I like that. I like that a lot. That actually make me start to think. So yeah, but I want to share some quick personal stories, which Duolingo is one good example. I've been on Duolingo a long time. This is from today. I screenshotted this afternoon a little while ago. You see, it even tell me I extended my streak 2 hours earlier than average. Yeah, because normally I do it late in the evening. But yeah, I have a Duolingo streak of almost 1,000 days, as you can see. And yeah, I've been using it to learn French, and I'm almost at 1,000 days straight. I'm not fluent, I'll be honest, but I understand much more. I'll say so much more than when I started, So I could say the progress didn't come from perfection. It did not come from perfection. It came from consistency, you know. Even a few minutes a day compounds into something powerful. Look, just like Clem said a little while ago, reading and working out. Reading and working out is what he working on. And this is just like reading. If you take 30 minutes a day and say, yeah, I gotta read a book, that idea is expanding your mind in so many different ways. It's not even funny. Yeah. But yeah, of course, that's how it's designed. It's designed to keep you there and thing. But I just showing you that this is a good example of consistency. And don't get me wrong, I'll be transparent and be real. There has been a few days, like one or two in between here and there, that I did miss. Whereas, luckily for me, they have like streak freeze where you could still maintain your streak, even if you miss one day. But if you miss 2 days, you're so. Despite that, I'll still say consistent. You know, yeah, consistent self. So I have to mention, like talk about the snowball effect. Some people might not understand what that means, but when you go into like the snow and the winter places, they call this snowball effect when like you roll a small ball of snow down the hill, and then as they keep going and going, it just get bigger and bigger and bigger until it's a humongous ball that could knock down anything in it path. Think on like an avalanche, like when an avalanche coming down and just knock down everything it see. A snowball, once it passes through the snowball effect, can knock down anything in its path as well. But just understand, it's like you start from a small nothing. You start from nothing to something. That's the real gist of why I'm trying to make everybody understand. You start from nothing to something, from a little nothing, a little seed to a big blossoming, beautiful tree. From a little snowball to a big, maybe 20-foot tall ball of snow that could knock down anything in its path. Do you imagine that? That's just because of the momentum and the consistency. Once you do the same thing, once you keep going, and I show you could probably think on different occasions, different situations, different things in your life that because you stayed consistent to it, you saw benefits, you saw that you did better. Maybe we doesn't give ourselves all the credit we deserve, but if we really was to pay attention and reflect on what happens around us, we would see that we do achieve this snowball effect as well. It's just, yeah, we gotta pay attention, we gotta see it, and we gotta go for it. Stay consistent, you know. So I'm curious to know if anybody here, if anybody else learning a language or any similar skill right now. I'll be 100% transparent. I am on this high day streak with Duolingo, but especially now with AI advancement and things, I've been kind of reevaluating, contemplating about maybe using another platform, which, like they say, that immersive learning now is the best way to learn any language, whereas it's like you're talking to somebody, or whether it's AI or like an actual real conversation, not just sitting down and playing like games style thing. But yeah, I feel like that there is a good idea. So I've been contemplating that. So a good question was posed here in the chat. Is it possible to be consistent and not focused? I would say yes and no. I know it might sound weird, but why I said that is because at the end of the day, sometimes even when you're consistent, you do, I don't want to say fall off, but you do have more difficult times than others. But still, you would be focused. You still focus on your intention. So let's say if you intend to start a business, you consistently building towards it, and maybe not every day that might be your focus, but you still consistently building and placing those blocks so you could build that structure. You see? Yeah. So like Clem say, that's when habits kicks in, but focus comes first. Exactly. So you have to know your why. And that's the most that's the most important thing. So to answer this question, is it possible to be consistent and not focused? Yes. And because at the end of the day, once you remember your why, once you remember what you're doing it for, you can always come back. You can never falter. And that's still consistency. So some people, they all over the place, not the most organized, but once you staying consistent, once you keeping your eye on that ball, and you say, okay, that's where I gotta reach. Maybe not every day you might hit that note, or maybe not every day you might open that book, or you know, do what you set out to, do what you plan to do. But once you keep moving that needle in the right direction, eventually you're gonna fill that tank. Yeah, that's the best way I could tell you. Once you keep moving that needle in the right direction, cup overflow it, God bless. So yeah. That's my answer to that. You see? Yeah, and exactly. My drive in listening but researching everything with proof. Exactly. You gotta know where you're getting yourself into, especially in a day an age like this where anybody saying anything they want. Verified information is key. Oh, this is good stuff. I'm at the gym at 4 a.m., but I'm not a morning person at all. It was the focus of being consistent that turned my 4 a.m.s into habit, even though I'm a night owl. Look, tell me about it. I ain't like I ain't a gym bug like you, but yeah, I ain't a morning person. I straight up, I'm a night owl for sure. And yeah, I know exactly where you're coming from there because when you're a night owl, you have to really be intentional about getting up on, like, you gotta really tell yourself, okay, I getting up this time. You have to make sure put things in place so that will happen because yeah, God knows that dead will be calling. So another real example is this podcast. This podcast here is a perfect example of consistency, and this podcast journey, I would say, has taught me a lot, So, another real example is this podcast from episode one till now, every single week, I show up right here. And no matter what, despite the circumstance, I always figure out a way to make sure I hear to stay consistent. Because that's what I told myself when I started. I am going to do a podcast, whereas it's going to be weekly, every week. And God bless, so far, I have been consistent on that mission every week, faithfully, since the beginning of May. I have done a podcast episode every Monday. God bless. And that's God's blessings for sure because we know how life does go. We know life be life in. So truthfully, I promise you, I ain't about to my own hand, but I feel proud of that because I remember looking back, even I started it in May, and I remember 2 weeks after I had to travel, and I was like, bye, what I gonna do? I can't cancel it. I don't want to cancel it. And yeah, started planning and I figured it out. Look, I'm in another country again. Right now, in Cali, Colombia. And I on with are you? Because what? When there's a will, there's a way. So a lot of people might have been defeated and say, bye, man, I gotta travel, I ain't gonna get to do my podcast. But no, I say, you know what? Okay, I'm traveling, but how can I still do this podcast? And like all of that goes with mindset and perspective and mentality, because growth mentality instead of fixed mentality. Instead of saying, bye, I gotta go away. Normally I do my podcast on Mondays, but because I ain't gonna be in my studio, in my setup, I can't do it. No. Instead of saying I can't do it, I said, how can I do it? Simple rearrangement. Simple. Instead of looking at the cup half empty, look at the cup half full. Yeah. I'm telling you, anybody from episode one till now, every single week I've showed up. Whether travel, when life got busy, Even when I didn't have everything perfect, I still hit that go live button. And I'll say that's why I call execution with excellence. Because showing up consistently creates credibility, and credibility builds trust. And that's basically what Clem was saying just now, identity, because now people see who you are and see what you're about, and they see, okay, I put trust in this man word on this topic. And now that builds your identity. Look, yeah. I'm curious to know who been rocking with me since the early episodes. I know my girl why for sure the oracle. But yeah, let me know in the chat who here been rocking with me from the start. We've been rocking with this all over it podcast. Checking like, yeah, Oliver, you're doing God's work. Let me know. Let me know in the chat. I like this one. Not possible. Not possible to start with nothing. Haha. There was nothing, then something was started, then multiplied. Facts. Facts. Wow. Even Jesus feed the multitude with, you know, one little bread, one little piece of fish. Yeah, I know it wasn't one, but you know, we gotta make it sound good. You see? Example, never missed a day at school yet learn nothing. Hey, you know, make me laugh though. Woo! Wee. Jokes. But yeah, feel you. So before I get into the common struggles, I want to touch a little more on some real practical examples from me. Like I said, the podcast for me is a big one, of course, you know, and we here, are you here on it, so are you could see and experience. Like I remember when I started, I have advanced since then. Now I got this platform I to use. I was using a different platform in the beginning, but I switched. I I advanced. I actually just buy an adapter for my laptop so I could plug in directly to the internet because my laptop, all these new age things, they say, you know what? We taking away the ports and making you buy it in an adapter. So yeah, anyways, yeah, advancement. I feel an advancement, little things. I see, okay, I need to fix this. And I did so. And now, like literally tweaking and honing your skill, honing things in so you could get that perfected craft that you want. Yeah. Like I had a conversation with another fella here the other day. And I don't know, sometimes I just go into a deep, profound thinking. And I was thinking to myself, like, and along the lines of consistency, even down to like those big businesses, like think on any business, anything, like those ones that have been around for like 100, maybe less, but maybe more years, like consistency. They know what they do. They build from the ground up. They say, you know what? Okay, I like to use Welch's as an example, but I don't want to use that right now. Let me say Berkshire Hathaway. Many years ago, that was nothing. Now look, Warren Buffett is one of the richest man in the world. Like, don't feel like when Warren Buffett started a billionaire, millionaire. No, no, it all starts from one block, one brick, one. You gotta start from the ground. Like whatever you want to bring to market, whatever you want to, whether sell, whether it's a service or a product, it takes consistency, it takes research, it takes practice and trying, perfecting your craft And over time, it's going to become what you want it to become. And then now, the last thing you'll have to do is make a good recipe outline. If anything, copyright your and trademark your business and send it to market. You check scale, increase your sales and all those things. Yeah, scale, yeah, bam. So bottom line, like I said, I said I'm gonna have a conversation and it get me thinking like all of that is good example of consistency because I'm telling you, whatever business, whatever industry, whatever it is you want to do, once you stay consistent, it will get you there. You think Clorox had it all figured out in the beginning? You think the bleach formula was what it was when they just start? No, they probably burn out a bunch of clothes. They probably buy all kind of thing back in the past. Probably had all kind of rats and thing testing all kind of thing. But what data? That data is what helps you better the situation the next time, and then you just keep progressing, progressing, progressing until it start paying off for you. Look, Microsoft, Amazon, Facebook, all of these things starting in somebody's garage. People didn't believe in these people. People checking for who's this little nerdy boy, Mark Zuckerberg? Who's this Steve Jobs? Who's this Jeff Bezos guy? Who you feel he be? But look now, look at now. Everybody want to talk to them, want be them, want. Yeah, because why? Consistency. They say, look, whether people believe in it, whether people see what I want to bring, whether they see the vision or not, I can keep at it. And it's snowball until now they're knocking everything over. Look, man, Nvidia. Oh God. I rate my buy Jensen one buy. He ain't playing no games right now. I ain't no financial advisor, but I'll tell you, Nvidia buy. Good investment. Especially right now, without AI advancing. Nvidia and them little group, that little yeah, little power circle that they kind of creating there. Yeah, man. Telling you. Yeah. Anyways. Just know consistency is the key. You gotta keep at it. If it's a skill you're building, you gotta keep practicing. Like Clem say, even though he don't like getting up in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, he in the gym. Man, I ain't understand. Look, like how we talk about that. Let me show you some pictures because I always just talk about how I used to play steelpan back in the day, and I'll share some images. Like I said before all of this, back when I used to play steelpan, I saw the same thing. At first, it was just noise, laughs, but after hours and hours of practice, the music started to flow. That's the same principle in business, content creation, personal growth, whatever it is. Practice doesn't make perfect, it makes progress. So I just want to, yeah, going through these, I kind of went down memory lane and I want to take a down memory lane with me too. So yeah, watch this handsome fella. Why you the handsome fella there? Oh, hi, lad. Hello. Yeah, man. Back in the days when I used to play steel pan and thing, I think these is the days of my most consistent. Like I could show the most discipline and consistency because I played steel pan from maybe the third grade. So what I about 9, 10 years old, straight up until I went away to college. So yeah, I went away college 2014. I'd say at least 10, 15 years. Yeah. I was playing steelpan. Look, this fella up here in the corner. Watch it better, watch it better. Watch it. Okay, good. Okay, good. Watch that shot, boy. Oh, your Lord. Ooh. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Good times, good times. Watch out. Who's that fella there? Who's this fella here? Oh, your Lord. Look, big dog, man. Big dog in this thing. Boy, was a big dog in this thing, you see? With all the big dogs, I miss my boy Micah, boy. That was my dog. But yeah, boy, big dog in this thing. You see, I had to give her like a real down memory lane. I was an instructor too. You see, I used to be teaching the young children them how to play it too, teaching them music theory and all kind of thing. Man, we do things now. I do things in my life. Yeah. Next one, look, me here on the corner, Oliver and Junior Williams. That's I. Yeah, we had like a match with the pan around the neck, so not all the time on a stand. We on the move too. Yeah, but just know, we on the move. We on the harbor playing. Look, cruise ships in the back. It's on the port of St. Martin, welcoming tourists and guests. Could see the milk in my face. Also used to play bass guitar too. Yeah, don't mind the chat. Yeah. Happiness in the face, you see it? And then the last one. I actually went on a trip to Holland, whereas me and four other St. Martin, I doing everything, you know? Me, well, five of us from St. Martin went to Holland and we competed in a competition where we actually won against persons from all over the world, like Greece, all kind of thing, you know, all kind of different places, Switzerland, of course, Holland, you know, but remember Holland got people from all over the place, so it was like a international competition and we, five little boys from little 27 square miles St. Martin, went all the way to Holland. We won. God bless. And yeah, this is an image of when we was up there. Great experience. Great experience. Yeah. We do things, man. I tell you, we doing things. Doing things. You know? Doing things. But yeah, like I say, I don't understand what you mean by domain name. But yeah. But yeah, like I say, snowball effect, you gotta stay consistent. Consistency has a compounding effect, you know, like a snowball rolling down the hill. You know, it starts small, but then the more it rolls, the bigger and faster it gets. So just to give I a little physics behind it, think on it this way. Because it rolling downhill, it moving faster. And because it's snow, the type of material, the type of texture, the type of whatever word you want to use there for your personal reference, the type of material that snow is, you know, it picks up, you know, it's like Velcro. Yeah. So as it roll in, it pick up and pick up and pick up and just keep growing and growing and growing. And the more it rolls, the bigger and faster it gets, period. And that's your effort, you know. So think on your effort when you putting into your intentions, just like that, you know, just like that. Maybe in the beginning it might look like a little small nothing, but once you keep it going, once you keep that momentum going, it gonna keep compounding. And just know every time you show up, that momentum builds, and before long, the results could start to show, you know. So I would like to know, I have questions to you. Whoever noticed that once you get consistent with something, it actually becomes more easier over time. Like, especially like with any skill, literally, I would say any skill. Let me say you want to learn a language, or let me say maybe you just start to deal with computers, maybe you start to learn a new computer program or so on. In the beginning, it might look hard, but with consistency, it actually becomes easier over time, you know. So I just want to throw it out there, remind everybody of that, you know. So I'm moving on from the somebody back now. Common struggles. Common struggles when it's hard to stay consistent. You see, like how, let me bring it back up, self. I may say it, but let me bring it back up. So, like how the oracle say, is it possible to be consistent and not focused? I would say that question would fall under this portion in the sense of like a common struggle, because some people might not be focused. Some people might say they're consistent, but they're not consistent. You know, so is to really know what you're doing. Like I said, you gotta know your why, you gotta know your approach. So what's your strategy? And then you gotta know if you're really making progress. You know, so you gotta reflect, you gotta check. You know, so common struggle. One thing else. I'm not saying it's gonna always be easy. We all get tired, distracted, or discouraged. I could tell you that from personal experience. I ain't talking like I got it all figured out. I promise you I don't. You know, we all are human. So we all want to enjoy life. We all experience burnout if we keep pushing ourselves too much. Like all of us human. You know, so like I said, I'm not saying it's going to always be easy, but the trick is to have your why strong enough to keep you going when motivation fades. You know, so going back to that question, that's when they're not focused. When you're not focused, mean you're feeling a little demotivated, or maybe you're feeling like discouraged, distracted. Maybe you know you should go in the gym, but this morning you got some fiesta somewhere, you're checking by going to that, you know, all these things is part of it. We are human, but you gotta know what you're going to do. You gotta be disciplined. That's one of the that's a key thing in consistency. You gotta be disciplined. And that's why I mentioned the steel pan, because that's something that I would say taught me discipline a lot. Like experience I went through from young, that I had to really like get over that, yeah, hate of repetition, and like buy board of this and all of that type of thing. I had to throw that out the window, because when you practicing one, like not even the whole song, like maybe six, seven notes, eight notes over and over and over, like a pattern, like ding 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 ding. You must get tired of that. You check, and you still gotta keep playing it because the one thing I could say is I've noticed from personal experience as well, when you practice and keep doing something over and over, it has become like second nature. So let me say, like, whether it's some skill you have, like physical, or maybe it's some software, you know, or whatever it is, After you keep doing that over and over, think on maybe like in your work professional life. Maybe you've been using Microsoft Word and Microsoft Excel for years, maybe 20 years ago you start using that. Think on how easy that comes for you now. While other people, probably your same age, probably even younger than you right now, checking by. I need to learn how to use Word. I need to learn how to use Office 365. You know, we might overlook these things, but you gotta give yourself grace. You gotta give yourself credit. So that's why I say when you feeling distracted, discouraged, tired, just defeated, period, the trick is you have to have your why stronger than anything else. It have to be strong enough to keep you going when motivation fades. So good example is like how Clem said, even though he ain't no man in person, he know he's a night owl. He tell himself, you know what? I am going to get up 4 a.m. in the morning, which I commend you on that, bro, because I'll be honest, for me, especially these days, like not since I've been in Colombia, but yeah, especially these days, sometimes I go and sleep 4 or 5 o'clock type of vibe, you know? And like, yeah, I commend you because I being a night owl as well, I can't imagine myself going sleep 12 to get back up for 4 or maybe even 1 to get back up for 4 or even 11. But yeah, like, I don't get much sleep right now, but still, that's how hard work. But yeah, so I would say that was one of the most common struggles. People maybe when they hear consistency, they feel like, yeah, you got it all figured out. Yeah, man, you checking you better than me. Yeah, you know it better than me and thing. But no, it's just I giving myself grace. I allowing myself to go through the motion and although I know every day ain't gonna be good, I can still try. Like I ain't like to you. Okay, not today, but there are times I come on this podcast and I ain't feeling so happy. I ain't feeling so look, good example. Today, I organize myself, prepare myself for the podcast. I also cook. So I cooked some food here in the hotel room because I've been saying, man, I want to cook something for myself. So I did so. After I do that, washed up everything. I had some fruit stem that I've been having to deal with. So I deal with the seeds and all these things. And literally, like after I do everything here on the computer, maybe like around like an hour before the podcast, tiredness like it start to come in and I check it by. You gonna beat me. Check, because I know myself. If I go lay down, sick up. Yeah. But you gotta be, you gotta really be steadfast. You gotta be headstrong. You gotta believe in yourself. You gotta give yourself faith, but give yourself grace as well. Because none of us perfect. None of us are perfect. All of us human, all of us just trying our best. Even the people that you aspiring to and looking up to as mentors and role models, even they ain't got it all figured out. Let me tell it to you if you don't know yet. So even they human just like you, they just maybe life a little more smoother, but they got a little trials and tribulations just like everybody else. So don't watch, yeah, but look, this other person got it all figured out and thing. It's just like the story of the rabbit and the turtle, the race. The race is not ours. The race is not for the swift. The race is not for the swift. It's for the diligent. Straight up. I can tell you from personal experience observing life. observing life in all kind of different ways in the sense of observing how other people move, taking in information from all kind of different places. I notice everything that easily got in, short. You gotta really be good if you get something easy and you preserve it for long. You know, like they say, nothing good comes easy. Hey, I ain't want to make it sound bad, but shit, really don't come like that, buddy. Telling you. So nowadays, I even give myself grace in that. I would say with my business, with my agriculture business and thing, I'll be checking I way I want it to be, you know? I want it to be more advanced than where it is now. But I just give myself grace and remember, like, by look, God's plan is always greater, and He know this, and He know that when that day come, that I set in stone, that nothing can move it. You check what God has ordained. Nobody can touch, nobody can move. You know, so what's for me gonna be for me, what's for you gonna be for you always. Nobody can turn it, twist it, shift it, change it. None of that thing. You know? So I just say that to remind you, even though sometimes it might look like a struggle, it might feel like a struggle, other people might seem like they got it all figured out and you struggling, all of we struggling. All of we got we cross to bear, all of we got we struggles we face it. You know? Just some people deal with it in stride, some people deal with it better than others, let me say, you know. But don't leave that demotivate you or keep you down, discouraged from reaching your purpose, you know. So yeah, another question. What helps you stay consistent? Sorry. What helps you stay consistent when you don't feel motivated? I'm curious to know. Cause yeah, I just have to really I think for me, one thing that has like be a real tranquility for me and a real like soul restorer, I'll use that term, does be like natural environments. And especially being here make me realize that even more deeper because like when I home in St. Martin, I just like go in the garden and just like chill out, you know, take in the environment, take in the ambiance and the just the things around me. And now that I'm here, I realizing like yeah, that's a real big thing for me. Like I already knew it was a big thing, but now I really seeing it deeper because I come here right and like I tell her, I just go like literally right in the back of the hotel and it got like a park there. And then I just go behind there and just cool out, watch the animals, then watch the trees. Honestly, I just be in awe of how big the trees is and how like natural the place is, to be honest, you know? And yeah, like I say, I've been noticing that that's one of my biggest things. Like just taking a time for myself, like taking the present, you know? Because yeah, life will always be life in. We always got things to do. We always got some deadline, some agenda point, something we got to do. But sometimes we need to just give ourselves like 5, 10 minutes, you know, whether it's us and nature, us and God. Like I say, give yourself grace, you know. Like Psalms 23 say, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He leadeth me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restored my soul. I does really feel like those words just resonate very deeply with me because, like I say, I just feel at peace when I in those type of environments, and I realize people don't see the tranquility and therapeuticness, because that's the key thing. The serenity and the tranquility of those environments to be therapeutic, and especially for people nowadays who facing all kind of different ailments or mental struggles, things like these is what you need, you know. But anyways, let me see what's going on here. So yeah, my bike, let me say, packing furniture in a truck is second nature. Making things fit when they shouldn't. That came with 16 years or more in experience back in the day. Yeah, I believe you. Like I say, sometimes I feel like I pack things like it's Tetris, you know, like it just fall away, gotta fall. Like, yeah, man, like after it done, it's like it had to be like that. Like it was made to fit like that. Yeah, man, I feel you, bro. And yeah, that's for sure. That takes practice. That comes with doing it over and over and over. You know, even like you said, I know my bio there and them tips too. And yeah, like you say, after you do it a couple times, you start. Even me, I ain't no, I ain't no contractor, but because I use measuring tape a good couple of times, because I do couple different work, measure, cut, do different things myself. Now I could watch a space and say, okay, yeah, that's like 5 feet. But you know, like it comes with it comes over time. Practice makes perfect, you know. So I feel claim 100% and not 1,000% matter of fact, you know, habitual. Don't get me wrong. To getting up 3:30 a.m. to get to the gym at 4 is tough. All it takes is to lay back down. And that's where the focus come in, because once I stand up and head to the bathroom, hard part is over. Totally agree. Yeah, because and I'll use that to give advice to anybody here who does have trouble getting up. I could tell you the snooze is your worst enemy. And I'm telling you, I just snooze too. So don't feel like I tell you this like I took my own hand, like I better than you. Nah, telling you, at least God bless me. I ain't got no fixed full time scheduled job that I have to go get up for every day. God bless, you know. But of course, if I did have to, I would have handled my business always. But yeah, I feel you. I feel you. You have to really be headstrong, you know. Your mind is a battlefield, like I always say, and you got to be stronger than it. You got to fight that battle and win, because if the mind win, then you don't fight, you out, down and out, you know. But yeah, man. God bless, God bless, God bless. So the last slide I have here today is just some practical tips. I hope this nice fancy slide you could still see good, you know. But yeah, basically I'll just call them off and then I'll go over them shortly and briefly. So practical tips on how to build consistency. Because I understand you might be watching this, checking, but Oliver, you talk all this good stuff about consistency and this and that, but I still don't know how I could do that. I still don't see myself being able to stay consistent every day and even the things I want to do. Well, let me give you some help now. I have 5 tips here for you. I think you could follow them. I think you could, you know. So, number one, start small. Simple enough, I would hope. Number two, set systems. That one I gotta touch on for sure. Number three, celebrate small wins. Yeah, that one there is important. Number four, reflect often. Reflect, but often. Yeah. And then number five, stay flexible. Stay flexible, you know, stay nimble. You know, like you're dancing. Yeah, but yeah, so like I say, start small. Don't try to do everything at once, you know. The best thing I could tell you is organize yourself. Start small. Don't try to when you sit down in front of a plate of food, you just try to take up the plate and just shovel everything down your mouth. No. Start bite by bite, piece by piece, and you eat it gradually as it go. By the time you look, the whole plate done. Whether it's rice and chicken, beef, whatever, or whether it's a burger, whatever it is, one bite at a time. Start small, one bite at a time. That's my advice to you for practical tip one. You know, so don't feel. Let me say, if you want to build your business, that you know that use as an example all the time. You know, or okay, let me say you like me, you want to get more consistent and read it. You know, you just read, yes, but you want to read more consistently. Start small. Maybe you tell yourself, bye, I want to do it every day, but maybe doing it every day might be difficult for you. So just maybe do it every other day, or every, like 3 days out a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Once you set that habit, once you create that habit and you in that cycle, in that motion, then now you could build on it. You could say, okay, let me add some more days in between. Because now it's done routine, it's done a habit that you're building, you know? Just an example. But yeah, like I say, even with business, if you say, okay, I want to start a barber shop or whatever business, whatever you got in your mind, whatever you got in your mind, just start small. Start to think, okay, what I need for me to do this business. And then start doing the research on these things. Start piece by piece by piece. By the time you look back, you'll have all the pieces you need. Just like Noah and the ark. He day in, day out, slave to build this ark. Everybody laughing at him, checking what the hell you doing? Why the hell you building an ark? Colombia. Why you building an ark in the middle of the desert? Well, we see why. So and okay, good. Clem have another great suggestion for you. Try just reading 10 minutes a day or one page a day. Start small. Yeah, so that's what I've been doing. Like at least one page. And then let me say if it's like a short chapter, I'll say, okay, let me try finish this chapter. But I say to myself, I want to allot, let me say in the morning, 30 days to 30 minutes 30 days in the morning. That's crazy. 30 minutes in the morning to read, pray, things along those lines. But yeah, so great comment there, my friend. Blessings for that. And then, yeah, set systems. So basically, what we are talking about is a system 10 minutes a day or one page a day. That's how you going to approach it. Like, whether you're going to schedule reminders, whether you can use trackers, automate things whenever you can, whatever it is, system. So, like I say, if you decide you want to read, telling yourself, okay, I want to read, but let me read every other day, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, that's a system. Like how Clem say, try just reading 10 minutes a day or one page a day. That's a system. That's the structure, the order you decided you want to go through, the process, the procedure. That's how you setting it up, you know? Celebrate small wins. Reward yourself for progress. Check so, okay, you're reading your book, you're keeping track, you're checking what I actually read basically every day for this past month, man. Why doing good? Treat yourself, recognize that you're doing good, you know? So that's one thing about we as people. When we ain't doing good, we could always say, bye, we ain't doing good. But when we're doing good, it's like we don't want to give ourselves credit, you know? So give yourself grace, man. Give yourself a little credit. Celebrate your small wins. Reward yourself, you know? Believe in yourself. Because if you don't believe in you, nothing ain't going nowhere. You know? So yeah, celebrate the small wins. So even if it's you don't even have to do nothing in a sense. So you don't gotta say like, yeah, going out go buy food or I going out spend money. No, you could just say, you know what, give yourself a pat on the back. Say what, I do good. I do good this month, man. What I want to do next month? I'll keep it going. Next week I'll do more. Next month, I yeah, all of that. Celebrating the small wins. And while you're at celebrating the small wins, you gotta reflect because in order for you to celebrate these wins, you gotta look back at where you come from. Right? Sure, we could agree on that. You know, so you gotta reflect, look back and see how far you've come, and all of that will make you feel good about all what you did because you say, wow, okay, look at that, boy. Look, when I started, I could have only play one note, but now I could play a whole card or I could play a whole scale, whatever it is. Reflect and reflect often, you know, because now when you reflect often, you could stay flexible. And staying flexible means adjusting methods, not your mission. Adjusting methods meaning sometimes you might have to just tweak your process or your procedure a little bit. So like how me and Clem just say, I say, okay, well, you could do it every other day, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But then maybe you start doing that and you check it, man, you want more reading, you want more knowledge in your head. So you check in like Clem say, you know what, let me adjust. Let me switch from the every other day to maybe 10 minutes or 20 minutes every day, you know? But now you gotta reflect to do that, like I say. So it all goes hand in hand. It really does. And yeah, for sure staying flexible is a big part of it because that's another reason why a lot of people just get discouraged because maybe they start out doing something a specific way and then the process they're using ain't feasible, meaning like maybe whatever the way how they're doing whatever it is ain't working out for them. Maybe all they gotta do is change the way they're doing it a little bit and everything will work out smooth. But instead, they might not change it because they're saying, you know what, they're not flexible. Maybe if the person is not flexible, they say, no, I start doing this way. This is how I'm going to continue doing it. But then eventually you might get burnout and then you give up on your own goals and thing, you know? So, yeah, those are my practical tips for you. Like I say, start small, set systems, celebrate the small wins, reflect often, and stay flexible. Stay flexible, stay nimble. Things has changed in life, you know, especially in this day and age. Look how crazy things has been in the news. Everything just changing and nick at, you know, and drop of a dime. Like, you know, so you can't say, "Bye, yeah, I'm gonna do this way. This going work for sure." And then you see that things change, let me say, in your industry, in your region of expertise, and you check it now. I can just stay close minded, fix mindset instead of growth mindset, and keep things how it is. No, man. I tell you, when you look back, when you reflect to celebrate the small wins, you yourself can tell yourself, you know what, I doing good. And maybe if I make these minor adjustments, I could even do better. I tell you, I see it here. Look, this podcast is an example. I'm so glad I get this StreamYard platform. In the beginning, I was a little hesitant, especially when I started to pay for it. Checking like, well, I know when I started to pay for it, it was because I checking it good. But you know what I mean? Checking like, buy. I had other things I was using that was free, working just the same, doing good. But yeah, sometimes you gotta adjust. I look, I adjust and trust and believe it was for us, for good for sure. So and like I said, I could see things advancing and falling in place because like team building, these platforms and different programs now have services and tools to make certain processes easier too. So it's like win, 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 man. So you gotta celebrate the small wins and yeah, just know that's important. It's very important. So my next question is for anybody listening, which of those do you need to focus on more right now out of these five practical tips? So maybe you might have to focus on staying flexible. Maybe you're doing something good, but you realize I getting a little difficult, so you could maybe adjust things, or maybe you might have to work on and focus on celebrating your small wins. Maybe you're just a workaholic and you don't have no time for looking back, or celebrating what you do in the past. You're looking at the next win. You know what? No, you gotta give yourself grace too. So yeah, yeah. You see, yeah, I feel you. Celebrate small wins instead of focusing on a big one. Yeah, I know that one would be a big thing for a lot of people. Especially, I know a lot of people who like very driven and like have a strong work ethic. So people like that, like myself, it sometimes be hard to say like, yeah, but I do good, but I do that good. Sometimes you do good, but you're checking like, okay, I could have do it better, and next time I'll do it better, and then you just bypass that win altogether because you just focus on the critical, and the like I say already here, I am my biggest critic, and I am that type of person. Like whether it's like Toastmaster speech, whether it's presentations I given, I would prepare myself and I'll have like, everything down packed. But then after I deliver, I'll always be thinking like, why I forget I could have mentioned this part. I was thinking about this and I said we're going to talk about it, but I didn't talk about it. Or I end up going a little too long for this specific section, and yeah, you find yourself just kind of belittling the win that you just had, so yeah, trust me, I feel you. I feel where you're coming from, but yeah, man, we gotta appreciate all of it, the in betweens and the ins and outs, So yeah, that's what I gotta say on that. Try your best, my brother. We all gotta try your best to give ourselves a little grace, man. You know, you gotta move with grace nowadays because that's the only way we gonna see prosperity and see togetherness, unity. We gotta give ourselves grace, give each other grace. Because all of us trying. Real talk. You know what? Yeah. My last question before we wrap up. So, what's one area in your life that you want to be more consistent in this month? Please drop that in the chat for me. Please. But yeah, I have to say there is a reward of staying the course. So that's what we here talking about. Consistency is key, and that is what the bottom line is. Once you stay the course, you will be rewarded. You know, my family, consistency is what turns potential into power. Whether it's learning French, building your podcast, building your business, your mindset, it's the daily discipline that shapes our destiny. Even if you fall off, get back up. The seed doesn't grow overnight. The structure doesn't build itself in a week. I'm telling you, if you build a structure in a week, you want to live in that. So, yeah, remember, I gotta say this again. Even if you fall off, get back up. Even if you fall off, get right back up on the horse and ride it straight into the sunset. Yeah, straight to the horizon. Yeah, telling you. Because what? The seed doesn't grow overnight. Every structure was built brick by brick. Whether it's a man putting on the bricks, whether it's a machine putting on the bricks, it's brick by brick. Every time. Check. So if you keep showing up, watering that dream, laying those bricks, you will see results. I promise you that. I promise you that. And yeah, most I could tell you is keep pushing, keep planting your seeds. When I say seeds, I mean your ideas, your dreams, whatever it is. Not necessarily. It don't necessarily have to be a literal seed. But just know, keep pushing, keep planting those seeds, and keep executing with excellence. Remember that consistency is key. Yeah, yeah. So, on that note, my people, that's my presentation. That's my presentation for today. End of the slideshow. Yeah, 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 yeah. So, that's a good one. That's a good one. My boy Clem said, I asked the question, what's one area in your life you want to be more consistent in this month? Prayer. Amen to that one, brother. Real talk. Real talk. Real talk. But yeah, though, on that note, like I say, that's my whole presentation on consistency. That being said, I am wrapping up now. So obviously tonight is going to be an early night. Normally, as as you know, I go longer, but give everybody a great fresh new month. And then, with daylight savings time changing, give everybody a little more time for themselves. But yeah, of course, as usual, thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you all for coming on, rocking with me, for coming and uncovering it all with me here at this podcast, All Over It podcast. Today was episode 27. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We're doing things that tell you consistency every week, 27 weeks straight now. And I keep telling you, I think my first goal is 100. I like the first one was like 10. When I reached 10, I was like, yeah, by double digits. Let me say the next goal is 50. But bottom line, consistency. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We are that. We are that. And I would like for you to be on that too. Just trust me, you will see the rewards, you will see the benefits. When you keep pushing and keep doing your thing, whatever to do, use a garden, no, and you just plant your seeds and take care of your plants. Stay consistent with it. Maybe this month you plant and where you plant didn't grow, it died off. Maybe whatever reason, maybe the sun, too much sun, or maybe you didn't get enough water, whatever it is. Don't give up. Plant and accept it. Keep pushing at it. Whether you're a gym person, push yourself. Get up out of that bed. When you're feeling like, nah, but I want to just lay down here for another 5 more minutes, but nah, that's the moment when you got to tell yourself, but you know I gotta get up now. Yeah, yeah, yeah. When your brain telling you, by, let me just snooze this there, by. Nah, that's the moment when you got to be stronger, when you got to overcome. I tell you, the mind is a battlefield, man. I keep telling you that. I know, like, since I've been here, I've been kind of lapsing and advancing. But anyway, not the point. Consistency we talking about. So don't worry, all of that I'm gonna be consistent with. I'm consistent with. But yeah, like we just talked about life to be life in distractions, different circumstances and situations. You might have to adjust, you might have to stay flexible. But once you stay flexible and you're checking, you're nimble, you got nothing to worry about. Everything going to work out how you see fit, how you want it to. Yeah. So yeah, on that note, I have to say, whatever it is, I don't know what you're thinking. So I can't tell you what to do for you. But whatever it is you're thinking that you want to be consistent at, whatever it is you're thinking that you know is something that you very passionate about, that you have a strong why for, let me put it like that. Don't just hide it under a bush. Don't just forget about it. Don't just push it in the corner. No. Start today. Start today to make those steps to consistency so that you could climb that ladder and unlock that door with that key of consistency, man. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, people, stay consistent, stay blessed, and just keep pushing, you know, keep pushing. And yeah, on that note, I have to tell you guys, thank you as per usual for joining. You guys have a blessed week ahead. Check. Yeah, we pushing. We here again next week, and we will continue coming with good content. Yeah, today I do things a little different. I say, yeah, we've been on the AI wave. Yeah, don't worry, it ain't over. I like Canva just had a big update, big keynote with new features coming. Trust me, we ain't missing nothing. This year is a great important topic too, and worth it because what? Bottom line is, all these things I talk about, it's great. Whether financial literacy series topics or even now the AI topics. Yeah, great info, great opportunities, but you got to stay consistent. You can't feel like, you know what? AI doing big and I could make money from AI. Yeah, I can start making AI generated images today and get paid tomorrow. No, look, last week, a week before, I show you before. I show you I literally open up my YouTube page, my Facebook page, show the monetization aspect. Rome was not built in a day now. Remember they tell you that. They kind of say even God rested when he built the whole everything. When he built the earth, the universe, everything. Even God rested. You check. He do he work. And he say on the seventh day, he look back at it and he say, this is good. You know? So yeah, just believe in yourself, have faith in yourself, and remember, once you keep chipping away, chipping away, you can make it. You know? But yeah, on that note, literally closing now, so I ain't want nobody to say bye before you just drop off. So, nah. So yeah, like I said, thank you all for being here. It's love. You don't know, I'm gonna be here again next week. I appreciate you guys, and like I always just say, we're growing, we are elevating. More people watching, literally. I was surprised last week because of a guy I met. I had him on WhatsApp, and after the podcast, he ended up sending me a message telling me like, yeah, he was watching. I didn't expect him to watch it. I guess he saw it on my status and he check it. Yeah, let me check this out. And check it. Yeah, but good stuff, man. I like what you talk about the thing, you know. And I check in like, telling you things. This is why I had to do this episode because not just you, we might feel like things ain't advancing or things ain't moving, but behind the scenes or yeah, behind the scenes, things moving, man. We just gotta believe in ourselves, give ourselves grace, realize that God in the midst of all things and his plan will always prevail. We just plan and feel like, yeah, things have to happen on our time, but trust and believe God's time is perfect. Not early, not late. Always on time, all the time. Right on time. Never early, never late. Check. So, yeah, love alone, people. Thank you for being here with me. And this is the first Monday of November 2025, November 3rd. Yeah, I always tell you, if you like what I talk about here today, tell a friend to tell a friend. Like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good YouTube stuff. You know, add notifications, whatever it be, so you know once all of on, you get it straight. No? So yeah. Love alone, my people. Stay blessed. Have a good night, forward. I don't know. Catch me here next week for another episode of All Over It podcast. We uncovering it all. You know. Yes.